How much land does a man need? Well, I could say sufficient.
I would like a piece of land that I'm not going to be kicked off of.
A person needs enough, in actual physical space, a few acres, enough land to be able to sort of spread out and breathe.
How much land does a man need? Over 100 years ago, Leo Tolstoy asked the same question when the Russian peasant Pahom thinks to himself, "If I had plenty of land, I shouldn't fear the devil himself." "All right," thought the devil, "I'll give you land enough, and by means of that land, I will get you into my power."
Well, the ownership of BC land it's highly suspect. The English got it by fraud.
People are so greedy that they feel they have to have land, and if they have land, they can do whatever they want because it's theirs.
I consider the rest of the world and the land to be my property. So I don't need a beach house because it would restrict me to one beach when there are many beaches. So a man needs very little if the world is open to him.
25 years ago, I got land for $200 an acre. You can't, and the old guy I bought it from, he laughed. He thought he was just cleaning up because he only paid $250 for 66 acres.
It's just about prohibitive for anyone now who wants to get a start.
At one point I was desperately looking for a home, and it was so difficult to find something.
If ever I buy land, I doubt that it will be on Galiano unless a miracle happens. It's very expensive to buy land here now.
Early 70s, young people started coming through the islands and came down this driveway and were renting these little cottages from Stanley for $20 a month.
Elizabeth Taylor's brother had 15 acres of incredible land on this lagoon at the north end of Kauai, and he let a whole bunch of hippies live there. And they built these incredible bamboo houses, covered them with plastic, no rent. And of course, all the local authorities just freaked out. How could, people live for free, right? Basically, and not pay rent. And they, people grew gardens. Some people were fishing, and it was pretty good. But this wealthy person basically donated this land until so much pressure was brought to bear on him that he basically had to kick everybody out.
My family was Acadian at the beginning, and they got booted off their land. In the mid-1800s, my family was Métis in Manitoba, and they were disenfranchised from their land again.
"And what will be the price?" asked Pahom. "Our price is always the same, 1,000 rupees a day." Pahom did not understand. A day? What measure is that? How many acres would that be? "We do not know how to reckon it out," said the chief. "We sell it by the day. As much as you can go around in a day is yours." "It will be yours," he said, "but there's one condition. If you don't return on the same day to the spot where you started, your money is lost."
What I'd like to do is to create community with like-minded people and do good things with the land, like growing our own food and having healthy children.
And I think that flexibility is going to be the key to solve a lot of problems, and not be so staunchly set in rules.
The community's got to decide what they're going to do.
You could create a school that teaches the skills of homesteading just like this school teaches film.
I mean, it's a process of education. You've got to show the kids how to do it.
Some training, for instance, for people who, to use land, gain the skills that they would need, and to live on land in a simple way, in a different way. But that would be totally revolutionary.
"Ah, that's a fine fellow," exclaimed the chief. "He has gained a lot of land." Pahom's servant came running up and tried to raise him, but he saw that blood was flowing from his mouth. Pahom was dead. His servant picked up a spade and dug a grave long enough for Pahom to lie in, and buried him in it. 6 feet from his head to his heels was all the land he needed.
You know, and while I form a revolution, I love to drink Coca-Cola.